Hey everyone, Milk Drinker 28 here.
Poncy little milk drinker, that one.
Well, I guess it's only fitting that we explore the user interface of Skyrim after looking at the UI of the two previous games in the Elder Scrolls series. Alright, let's load this up and see what's cooking, and okay then. To many people within the Elder Scrolls fandom, Skyrim's user interface is a bit of a letdown, with both the design and functionality. But where exactly did Skyrim go wrong? Why is the UI something that so many people end up modding in their games? Let's take a little trip down to Skyrim and explore the user interface and its shortcomings. Of course, the game overall has a pretty consistent theme and feel with a mostly black and white color scheme for the heads-up display, title screen, loading screens, and menus. There are icons seen throughout the game, like for achievements, factions, map locations, services, skills, and even the Thieves Guild's shadow marks. The heads-up display of Skyrim features a compass at the top of your screen where a quest marker can appear if you have a quest selected. When you enter combat or when you look at some of your menus, your stamina, health, and magicka bars appear at the bottom of your screen with green, red, and blue. You sometimes see a bar showing your current level, like when you pull up the character menu and during loading screens, which shows a gradient blue bar. Unlike Oblivion, which has a journal that includes your maps, quests, magic, items, and stats all rolled into one, Skyrim instead separates these categories into different menus. The character menu has 4 submenus: skills, which is where you level up your skills by selecting perks, items, which is your inventory, the map is, well, the world map, and magic is where you access all of your spells, shouts, and active effects. The quest log and character stats are in a different menu entirely, and this menu is called a journal. This quest log is very straightforward about exactly what you need to do, usually with very brief sentences that look like bullet points that say things like, go here, do this, talk to this person. Your character's stats, or also called general stats, are where you find basic information on your character and your playthrough, like how many days have passed, how many quests you've completed, and how much you've stolen.
Stop!
The journal is also where you can see the system settings, which is a little odd that it doesn't have its own menu, but I don't know, maybe it's just me. The alchemy, enchanting, and smithing menus all look quite similar to how the items and magic submenus do.
Hi, how are you?
So I guess the big woolly mammoth in the room is the UI's functionality, which is another factor that really plays into the general distaste for Skyrim's UI. One thing that I think functions quite well is the map. I think Oblivion's map is kind of annoying to use since you have to click and drag to look around the map and you can't just zoom out and look at the map as a whole. But in Skyrim, you can move your cursor around and zoom in and out as you please. Plus, the map actually takes up your entire screen rather than just appearing in one menu. However, a big problem with most of the menus in Skyrim is the inconvenience. It can be hard to find things within your items submenu, especially since there's no search or filter options. Switching between weapons and spells, even when using the favorites menu, can still be a bit of a hassle. There's so much scrolling in a lot of these menus, like I know it's called the Elder Scrolls, but damn. It's honestly kind of lame that you can't see your character while in your inventory. When I played Oblivion, I was really excited that I could actually see my character off to the side while using my journal. Morrowind even has this with the inventory menu. Both Arena and Daggerfall does this as well. But with Skyrim, your only option is to look at your character with a third-person camera. It's not that big of a deal, but it's still a feature that I think would have been great for the game.
Smack that bitch!
I just want to see my character in her cool-ass armor like I could in Oblivion, okay? Well, perhaps Skyrim's UI isn't the best, but hey, luckily there's a popular mod that fixes a lot of the issues with it. SkyUI... wrong one. SkyUI takes the menus of Skyrim and simplifies them by adding search and filter options, and kind of zooming out on the menus, allowing the player to see more at once, and avoid that pesky scrolling I mentioned earlier. If you do want to change the design of the menus and the overall UI, then there are some other popular mods, like Dear Diary, which takes the menus and gives it that scroll paper background it was seriously lacking. Or if you're like me and you actually want to see your character like how you could in Oblivion and Morrowind's menus, then there's the Show Player and Menus mod. I want to make it clear that this video is not me dunking on Skyrim or hating on anyone who worked on the user interface. As I mentioned earlier, there are some beautiful design choices in this game, like the skills menu that is just majestic. Skyrim was my first Elder Scrolls game, so it will always hold a special place in my heart no matter what. But Skyrim's UI design is...
it's alright,
It's nice but pretty bland, with just plain black and white menus for the most part. I guess Bethesda wanted to go for a more simplified, modern look with the menus, but it only resulted in most of the menus and the overall user interface design lacking any magic or fantastical elements.
Yeah, sure, but where's the pizzazz? Huh? Look at this place. What is the theme here? Underwater? It's boring!
If you couldn't tell by now, I'm a sucker for some good theme-fitting UI design.
I just think they're neat.
And although Skyrim is a spectacular game, in the UI department, it fell a little flat. We can only hope that the Elder Scrolls 6 will bring back more fantastical designs, bring back the scroll paper background, and maybe even a proper journal.
Like that's ever gonna happen.